Blazers at the Jazz tonight's Discover Card Key matchup. Discover matches all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year automatically with no limit. Go to discover.com/yes. With Discover's card, you'll be hearing yes a lot more often. So the full NFL schedule is getting released tonight at 5 Pacific and 8 Eastern on FS1. So in our best for last today, not all schedules are like Jacksonville's a prime example. They're not going to be a great team. I think they can battle around for 500 because I do think offensively they'll be fun. But I'm not really worried about, I'm talking about teams. There's some teams that have some big decisions to make with quarterback. Some coaches are on the hot seat, and I'm very interested to see their schedule. So these are the 6 schedules that I'm most interested in.
Number 6.
The Packers. Now, they're the current favorite to win their division and should be. But they have 10 games against teams that made the playoffs. In fact, the only NFC team that made the playoffs they don't face is Tampa Bay. Aaron has started week 1, 13 consecutive weeks, but there's a lot of noise. It's very unsettled. So I just kind of want to examine it. If you got into a worst-case scenario and Aaron doesn't show up or Aaron's gone, is Jordan Love getting the Lions a couple times early if everything goes sideways? I know they're off the board now. You can't bet the over-under future bets on them. So I'm just kind of interested to see how it falls for Green Bay. Because in life, when you run a business, you always got to consider worst-case scenario. And I want to see how tough their September is.
Number 5.
Chicago Bears are very interesting. So last 3 years under Matt Nagy, the Bears offense is ranked 26. They're going to play Justin Fields. There is no question they're going to play Justin Fields. I want to see where the bye shows up. Because this is the way it works. When you have a young quarterback, they're going to get Justin Fields on the field in week 1. There'll be plays. But everybody knows, including Andy Dalton, they got to get to the next level or the coach is out and the GM's in trouble. They're already in trouble. So I want to see where the bye is. And I think if they get lucky and it's like bye, then Detroit in week 7, that's where you play Justin Fields. You give him 2 weeks of practice. Then he gets to play the Lions at home. It's like, okay, we did this with Tua last year. Remember a couple years ago, we guessed when Lamar Jackson would start week 11? Kind of want to see the softest part of the Bears schedule. Where's the bye fall? Where do the Lions fall? And that'll give you some sort of inclination on when Justin Fields, they let him loose.
Number 4.
The Chargers. Now, I think they're a dark horse Super Bowl team, but keep your eye. So Brandon Staley is a rookie coach. That means he's got to implement a new system. His system works, but it's new. They also totally rebuilt their offensive line. Rashawn Slater, left tackle. Corey Linsley, center. They went the center, left guard, left tackle, all brand new. Well, the offensive line, more than any unit in football, is about chemistry and time together. That O-line's not going to be great. So I want to see, when do they have to play the Chiefs? When do you start looking at the pass rushes they face? I would love for the Chargers. This again, in that division, we kind of presume they're playing for a wild card spot. So that's when it gets interesting, because then you're getting into that. How the schedule falls is the difference between 9 wins you're out, 10 wins you're in. So I think they need a little bit of an early September break to get the offensive line going and to get Brandon Staley's defense rolling. The schedule's a lot of Kansas City early, a lot of road games across the country. I mean, they already opened at Washington in that defense. For a new O-line, that feels like 0-1. Do you got to go to Kansas City the next week? Are you 0-2? That's the difference between making the playoffs and not. The Chargers.
Number 3.
The New York Giants. Listen, they went 5-3 in their last 8 games. Daniel Jones cut down on his turnovers, and that improved the wins. And I am interested here because I think they're going to make a decision by Thanksgiving on it. They're going to know if they're going to stay or not. This offense, Dave Gettleman, Kenny Golladay, Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard. That is a good receiving core. Evan Ingram, Kyle Rudolph. Those are really B+ tight ends. Saquon Barkley's back. Their offensive line, they went and got a left tackle last year. So they have committed to the offensive side of the ball here. It's time. And they played well at the end of the year. So, to me, can they take that momentum? If I was the Giants, Washington's got a new quarterback. Dallas has a new defensive coordinator. Philadelphia's got a new head coach. If I was the Giants, I would love my division games early. I bring back my coach, coordinator. I bring back my quarterback, most of my offensive line. If I'm the Giants, I want to face the Cowboys early. I want to face the Eagles early. I want to face the Washington football team early because they got new stuff. And I like what I bring back.
Number 2.
The Cowboys. Never forget this. They had the number 1 offense in the league through the first month of last year. So they also, it's very interesting. They're one of the teams that should root for a harder schedule early. So I think they're going to be kind of a 9-ish, 8, 9, 10 win team, right? So again, how's the schedule fall with Dallas? They also, the strength of this team is their wide receivers, and they only work if Dak has time to throw. So this is an old offensive line. Now, this year in the draft, they addressed defense. They should have. Next year in the draft, I can tell you right now, Dallas is going to address the offensive line. The Rams next year and the Cowboys, they're going to go address the offensive line. And so if I'm Dallas, I wouldn't mind a couple of the tougher teams early in the season. I'd like to play Washington's defensive front early. Because by week 11, I may be using a backup at left tackle and a backup center and a backup right guard. So if I'm Dallas, give me Washington early. Give me the Giants early. Give me some of those tough defensive fronts early when my offensive line, which is old, is healthy.
Number 1.
The Cleveland Browns. I think the schedule really matters for them. We know they play Kansas City week 1. That's a bad spot. They already got a bad break. They're bringing in 9 defensive starters, 9 new guys, and they're talented. Like, this is not... But a lot of them are kids. A lot of them are young. Greedy Williams got hurt last year. Grant, but the safety, young. Denzel Ward's still pretty young. So you got 9 new starters, a lot of movement. We already knew they faced Kansas City early. I don't want to. I got Green Bay on the schedule. I don't want to play them early now. I don't want to go Kansas City to Green Bay. I got Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes with 9 new defensive starters, and we know they're in a tough division. And I think they're going to win their division. But I've been saying this for a month. They're the one team, if they just they've already gotten a crappy break with the Chiefs week 1, where Andy Reid does not lose week 1 and in September. Their schedule could go from a 9-win team to a 12-win team based on, I'd love to face now the Packers later in the year. The offenses like Baltimore, No. Lamar Jackson's, that offense is too hard to teach young kids. I want to face Baltimore now later in the year. I want to face Green Bay later in the year. Very interesting schedule. By the way, Browns have the lowest winning percentage by any team in the month of September in the last 21 years. So they historically don't start great. All right, there we go. Those are the ones I'm looking at. mdriveformen.com. Free shipping, 60-day money-back guarantee. Refind your prime with mDrive. And also today, you don't like dogs and sandwiches. It's been established. We just can't. It's not going to work. Dogs and sandwiches. That's what it's all about. So tonight, FS1 NFL schedule is released. 5 o'clock our time.
Very exciting stuff.
I'm going to go home, get a nap.
You gonna have a Stella?
You are?
No. Are you?
Yeah. I probably will. Listen, man.